Hello, this is Auntie Kit. Today I am working on our Singapore River. This is the first view I would like to draw. Too plain, isn't it? So I add in this river boat. I combine the two together with a Photoshop program. So it ends up like this. So let's get started. I use a stretched Della Rolling 300 gram A4 size watercolor paper. And this technical pens, I usually use a 0.3 or a 0.2. For this painting, I'm using 0.2. 0.3 will be too thick. So let's get started with the drawing. Before this, I use a HD pencil to draft out the details. I'm not a very precise person, so I usually do not draw straight lines. I prefer broken lines and jagged lines, but if you are doing this together with me, it is up to you to choose the way you want your lines to be. Now I'm going to fast forward this video as it is just a technical way of drawing, nothing really interesting. Okay, try to use a pigment ink technical pen. Today I'm using Rotring brand because I don't want my lines to smudge. However, if you like to have a blurry effect, you can draw with a normal ink pen. This is your art. Try whatever you want and whatever you like with it. In Singapore, it is not cheap to take up art as a hobby. Usually, this hobby belongs to the Thais. I'm doing this to show everyone that it is easy to pick up watercolor painting as long as you have some free time, maybe just 2 to 3 hours on the weekend. We do not need to buy professional art materials. What I'm using here is student version watercolors. You can get leftovers from your children's art lesson. You can get quite good results from all these colors. Of course, if you want better, more brilliant colors, you can use professional ones. I don't even wash my palette so that I can save up on some of the colors. For today, I'm using wet on dry to give a better control for beginners. I add water to my color on the palette, bring up the color and just paint on. I use dabbing method so that it is easier to add on more colors as I paint. As we are not using professional colors today, we have to use more of the colors. Just add to the level of vibrancy you like. Now we paint the roof. Never mind whether the color is what you want, just add in more colors to get the right effect. Remember to remind yourself on the direction of the sunlight and where the shadows should be. Add in as much colors as you like to get the effect that you want. Do not be afraid of making mistakes. Just draw. This is your picture and this is your painting. Shadows do not necessarily be always black. You can use blue, gray, or even a darker tone of the same color. For this painting, I want the Singapore River to be very happy and colorful. And Singapore River is not very colorful today, so I add in the colors that I want. Never mind what this is. Maybe it doesn't look exactly the same, but this is the mood I want. Continue to add in the colors. Don't have to be very precise. You can do the touch-up later. Watercolors will tend to be a little lighter after it dries. Paint it on layers by layer to get the ideal tone. I am putting in more grays at the end of the buildings to give it a distant effect. I put in more brilliant colors in the middle. This portion will be the highlight. Continue to put in more colors, layers by layer, and you see that I'm giving the center portion more vibrant colors. I add in red, yellow, and layers of bright blue. Continue to add in the colors. I add in bright orange, red, highlights, blue shadows, and grey trees at the back of the painting, so to give a distant effect. Now we start with the boat. The color do not have to be exactly the same. Color whatever vibrant color you want. Add in the shadows. Add in the details. For the river, which is originally greenish grey in color, I added less grey to give it a brighter effect. This is a reflection. The reds and the yellows are more prominent colors, so I add them in. To prevent my hands from smearing the colors I have added in previously, I use my little finger as support, like this. When coloring the river, use horizontal strokes to show the flow of water. Be patient, this takes some time. I usually use this opportunity to train my patience. Change to a smaller brush, 0.2 brush maybe, to draw in the details. So now we fast forward the video to save some time. We can add in contrasting colors to give a different effect. We pull our brush away from the riverside, just like water flowing away. Add in different hues of green, add in some grey, add in some yellow ochre, light brown, to give the little choppy effect. For the trail and under the boat, first paint with clean water. Slowly drop in the darker colors. Let the colors flow in. do some touch-ups. Now that we still have the backgrounds to paint, the buildings, tall buildings, we just draw the silhouettes will do. So here we are, adding the colors freehand. I choose purple. It's a contrasting color. And of course, the happy mood. Now we paint the sky. I use orange, burnt sienna, yellow ochre. I do not usually mix my colors on the palette. I do it on the paper. Now add some yellow. Oops, it bends. I should have fixed the paper onto the board. Now I have to press it down so that the water don't flow out of the paper. You see that I add in some red to make the sky more vibrant. Oops, oh no, seems like too much of orange, but never mind. Just need to use some clean water to brush it off. Okay, remember to remove excess water so that it does not flow back onto the paper. Can even wipe it with tissue papers. Put aside and let it dry. Okay, when the paper is semi-dry, I use a number 2 brush to draw in the building. The color I use here is burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and orange. Let the lines smudge a little. All these colors will blend well with the color of the sky so that it gives a far away effect. Now we do some touch-ups, add in the shadows, put in more details. And here you are, Singapore River. If I can do it, you can. So have fun.